Hello. I'm Sketchy Duval, and I'm here today, of course, with my sketchbook to draw for you. As you've come to know me, this is my natural habitat in front of my sketchbook with some markers and some pens. Into it. I've already done this drawing. I started this morning and I finished it just now, just doing the inking. I had this idea of, I had this image in my mind, kind of, and then I just started drawing it and I saw where it took me. And she became like an emo ballerina. That's what I'm calling her, emo ballerina. And she doesn't exactly fit on the page, but I still want to see her shoes. You know, I wanted to do a full body, and I felt like if I just cut her off at the ankles, it's kind of like a cop-out, you know. I wanted to show her full body, so I took this separate piece of paper and just continued her legs down onto it. So I have her here. I'm gonna cut these out once they're finished and paste them right here. So it's kind of like a little insert and you can see, you know, what it's gonna give. But first, let me take a selfie and let me draw color. Actually, let me color this in for you. So I'm gonna start, actually, let me start with the bows because I know that I want the bows to be pink. And then I also gave her this bag. I wanted to give her a bag. Mostly I wanted something to fill the space right here, but also I just thought a bag would be cute. But whenever I give my characters a bag, it usually feels kind of like an afterthought, and the bag is not like really designed at all, you know? It's just kind of like, this is what a bag should look like, so this is how I drew it. But I wanted to give her some more thought and actually give her something that made sense with everything she had going on. So I thought, why not just give her like a bow? And is it a functional bag? I don't know. That's not really for me to decide because I am not her. I don't know. Anyway, bows. And then I want to give her red hair. So let's do that. I think I gravitate towards red hair as like a default. Maybe Sketchy Duval is a redhead. And I think that is because, first of all, my mom is a redhead. And I think from there, I've always been drawn to like redhead people and characters. For example, Hayley Williams. Like, I love Hayley Williams. Also, Daphne from Scooby-Doo. She was like my queer icon growing up, you know. For me, at least, growing up as a gay kid, I was always drawn to, like, female characters. I was always into the female characters more than the male characters in anything. But I was really drawn to Daphne. Probably because, one, she has orange hair, and she's like fashionable girly. She wears purple, and I love purple. Also, I love Chucky Finster. I've always really connected to Chucky Finster as a character. Like, I think, maybe not so much anymore, but definitely for a majority of my life, I could say that Chucky Finster was very much me as a character. I was also really drawn to Hermione and Luna Lovegood from the Harry Potter series. Who else? Oh my god, Twilight. Bella. Alice. Actually, you know, Twilight was maybe the first time that I was finding myself drawn to male characters at all. Because I really loved Jasper. I really loved Edward. I think the reason I was drawn to the male characters of Twilight might have been because it's just so emo. Like, it's a very kind of gothic inspired, like, emo romantic story. And I think that kind of thing really attracted me to everything about it. And, like, even the male characters in Twilight, you know, like Edward, he's very emotional and introspective. And, of course, the characters in Twilight are very fashionable. You know, like the vampires, the Cullens especially, are described as being like fashionable and beautiful. And that kind of beauty mixed with the horror and the pain of their perpetual existence, it's always gonna hit for me. And I think a lot of stuff that you see in my art, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, I think it comes from that kind of idea. Because I love mixing horror and beauty, of course. My art is definitely inspired by a lot of emo scene ideas and that kind of culture, you know, that always really inspires me, and it always has. Maybe Twilight gave me something to really identify those ideas with. You know, truly, Twilight has always been and will always be one of my favorite pieces of media. And it's definitely one of the pieces of media that truly defines me as a person. And I think if you want to get to know me, then Twilight is one of those movies that's like required viewing to get to know me. So it makes sense that I can identify a lot of myself and a lot of my art in that movie. So, I don't know, maybe this is somehow subconsciously inspired by Twilight. we will never really know, truly, but that is the joy of making art. You don't have to know. What color skin should she have? Should it be light purple or light pink? Well, I guess the ribbons on her legs are light pink, so maybe her skin should be light purple. I think it may be time to invest in some more markers, because I have these light colors of pink and purple, and then I have these darker pink and purples, but I don't really have a light blue or a light green, so I have to be careful about how I use my colors in here. But as I always try to remind myself, it's a fun challenge to be restricted in some way and to have to overcome that restriction to express something freely. And maybe that's like the thesis statement of my art. Something I know to be true about my art is that it's very much about discomfort. Like on a deep creative level from within myself, my art is about feeling uncomfortable, either in your skin or in your environment. But yeah, my art always deals with that kind of feeling of otherness or isolation. Just like being somewhere where maybe you shouldn't be, or being somewhere where you feel you shouldn't be. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But, yeah, that's what it is. But I want it to be beautiful within that. I want it to be apparent that they are not letting that define them. Like, look at her. She is not letting anything define her other than what she defines herself as. And I think that is beautiful. I think I want her hands to be red. Oh yeah. Oh, that is sickening. Oh my god. See, that gagged me. I don't know exactly where these feelings of discomfort came from within me, but I can say I grew up in a very small town of less than 2,000 people. I grew up in the 2000s, the early 2000s, and like the 2010s. Those are my like childhood and teen years. So luckily, growing up in that era of like the internet and Tumblr and things like that, you know, generally everything was pretty accepting. But there was always like a feeling of, I don't know. I don't know if it's being different or what. but there was always a feeling of just like being myself. It was just kind of a feeling of like, oh, I know I have to move out of here someday. But it wasn't like a negative feeling. It wasn't like, oh, I hate my hometown. But I knew that I would have to leave in the future. What's made it easier is just knowing that I have a place for myself and diving into my own art as my own world. I don't know, I feel like that's what I'm trying to do now in my life. I'm really trying to create my place. So that's what this is. That's what I'm here for. Paramore has a song called Misguided Ghosts, and it's become one of my favorite Paramore songs as I've gotten older and become an adult and stuff. And I really like the opening line of this song. It's, I am going away for a while, but I'll be back, don't try and follow me, 'cause I'll return as soon as possible. See, I'm trying to find my place, and it might not be here where I feel safe. But we all learn to make mistakes and run from them. I said opening line, and I just quoted the entire opening verse. But yeah, that opening verse really, really speaks to me, especially now. Especially that line, I'm trying to find my place, and it might not be here where I feel safe. That line really hits me quite hard these days. I'm gonna work on the shoes now, because I think she's pretty much done. With these shoes, I was thinking, like, what if a pair of Converse were ballet shoes? So that's why the shoes have no tongue, and instead it's just laced up all up her legs. This was kind of the jumping off point to make her an emo ballerina. I had already drawn the hair and the face and the pose, but she had no clothes. And then it came time to draw the feet, and honestly, I don't know how to draw feet. I barely know how to draw shoes. I know how to draw Converse and high heels, and that's like it. So I was like, I want her to be wearing Converse, and that's kind of how she became an emo ballerina. She doesn't look too emo, but that's what I'm calling her, emo ballerina, because that was kind of the feeling behind it. I think it's pretty much good. I don't see anything else I want to like add or change to it, so now let me just cut these out and put them on here. Something like that. Oh, these are way too big. Okay. You know what? Let's just cut around the shoes. And then oh wait, is that cute? Let's see. Oh, that's kind of cute actually. That's kind of cute. What if I just paste the shoes in like that? Yeah, let me do that. Yeah, I kind of love that. Okay. I think I can still frame them in a different way. So let me try something. Yeah, because I wanted it to look like it was a separate picture taken and put on top of this picture, almost like a magazine shoot, you know, like getting a close-up shot of the shoes. That's what I wanted. But you know, we had to troubleshoot, and I like how it turned out. So I think all that's left to do now is just to sign it. So there she is, our emo ballerina. So yeah, I really like this, and thanks for letting me ramble about whatever as I'm doing this. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for supporting my art, because it really does mean a lot to me. Art is like the most important thing to me that I'm able to do in my life, and yeah, so it means a lot, really. I appreciate it so much that anyone even cares. So thank you. I hope you liked our emo ballerina, and if you'd like to keep up with me and see more of my art outside of this, then you can find me on Instagram at sketchyduval, or of course here on YouTube. Thank you so much once again for supporting my art, and thank you for being here and for watching and for listening. Until next time, goodbye.